Join me today as I speak with Jim Onek, CEO of Epoch Lasers. Jim has developed an amazing technology for pain modulation and even more exciting products to come in the near future.
Very good. Okay. So when it comes to like the competitive lasers that are on the market, there's key differentiators between your laser and what they can do, correct? And does that have to do with the power of the laser itself, or what really sets it apart?
So a couple things with the power, certainly. The way the optical train is set up is different. So the way we set up our laser is so that the power density of the laser is equal across the whole surface space of where you're applying it. And this is very, very important because it makes the energy being put into the body very predictable. So that's part of what we do. We also have a divergent beam, which sets us apart, and that's a safety thing. If the patient has any problem, you can back that wand away, and the laser energy drops very fast. And that's a safety. It's a class 4 laser. So from a safety standpoint, that's something that we build in as well. And of course, there's pre-programmed protocols that come from 20 years of experience of this development. And that would be something that most systems do today. They put in some kind of pre-programmed protocols, but our system was developed from the cellular level up, and so with that, decades of experience of treatments, and this is being a 5th generation device, it's a very well developed, and the protocols work very, very well.
Right, and so you mentioned this sort of at the beginning, but you have the data and that there's not any harm that's being caused by the laser, but it's making the penetration that others potentially are not, right? So
exactly, that's what's great. The laser doesn't really have any reason or any area where it can do harm in, so it's safe to use. The worst that happens is that maybe it doesn't work for the given patient, but no, it doesn't cause harm.
Right. Okay. So when you're comparing this to some of the alternative therapies like TENS units or something like that, this is far beyond being able to penetrate and cause clinical benefit, right?
Yeah. Devices like the TENS unit give a very surface, amount, or like a hot water bottle. It can help reduce pain for a very short period of time, but it doesn't necessarily heal. And here you have the laser, which can not only reduce the pain, but it's actually stimulating the body to heal the tissue.
Right.
And so this is the differentiation. So yeah, a little electrical stimulation may help with the pain for a short-term duration, but the laser over several treatments will actually help eliminate the pain and actually help heal the area that's damaged. Within reason, of course. It's not going to reset a bone by itself, but it's going to help heal the area that's damaged, and that will thus help get rid of the pain on a more permanent basis, not just temporarily.
And is there application for the, we talked about post-operatively, are there recommendations for a waiting period? Is this like next, you have a total hip replacement or something like that? It could be used pretty quickly afterwards, or do you have to have a significant amount of healing before you could utilize it?
No, well, a couple things to point out is you can't use it if you've had a steroid injection.
Okay.
So you have to wait 2 weeks if you've had a steroid
2 weeks after steroid injection. Okay.
Because they conflict. The laser will diminish the use of the steroid.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the steroid will actually diminish the penetration of the lasers. No, you could laser a big toe or an ankle if somebody's had a steroid injection in their hand, but you definitely don't want to laser over the area that's had the injection.
The actual area. Okay.
So that's something to consider. And in terms of post-surgical, the stitches have to be out. So you're looking at least 2 weeks probably. Okay. So I'd say minimum two to 4 weeks after the surgery is done. Depends on the type of surgery, but at least 2 weeks you want to start to give things time to settle and correct, and then you can actually, when you started that 2 to 3 weeks after surgery, can actually help with the scar tissue and help with the healing.
Awesome. Okay. And so there's really, from what you're saying, I mean, obviously the steroid piece, but there's really no like contraindications or patient types you do not want to use this laser with, correct?
I wouldn't use it on a pregnant woman.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just from a liability standpoint, not from a do harm standpoint, but just from a liability standpoint. So that would be a contraindication. If there's patient is on certain types of drugs, most of the older drugs like statins are very light sensitive. You can use it, but you should be cautious about it because they're light sensitive and this is light. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. So those would be the kinds of things that you'd want to steer clear of.
Okay, well that makes total sense. So, Jim, when did you guys launch the laser, this particular laser? How long has it been on the market?
Yeah, so this particular version, the fifth generation's been on the market